guys, HMK here once again with another Legend of Zelda video. This is going to be focusing on Triforce Heroes, the newest game that's going to be added to the Legend of Zelda chronology, the Legend of Zelda universe, yada yada yada. Now, one big question that everyone's been asking me and has been asked on the internet is, where is this game going to fall in the Zelda timeline? Now, Nintendo already touched upon this, saying that they could pretty much plug it in anywhere since it could fit anywhere. They didn't know where they're going to plug it in yet, which is a reason why a lot of people say that the Zelda Timeline is bullshit. Nintendo, you shouldn't have said that. Damage control, all that crap. But I really don't think it can fit anywhere in particular in the Zelda chronology. The reason why is because this is Triforce Heroes. Of course, the Triforce is going to be some sort of focus on it. Every time you end the level, you go to the Triforce parts, and it's Triforce: Red, Green, Blue Link, Power, Wisdom, Courage, all that good jazz. So I'm pretty sure, even though it says that this game is going to focus a lot on the costumes or the dresses or whatever, I'm pretty sure this game is going to focus somehow, some way on the Triforce. Using that perspective, we can try and locate where this game may fall in the Legend of Zelda timeline. Now, I don't think it's going to fall in the Unified timeline for a couple reasons, and they pertain to the Triforce. Now, the Triforce was out in the open in Skyward Sword, and, you know, afterwards it got sealed in the Sacred Realm, in the Temple of Time, the Temple of Light, Chamber Sages, all that good crap, after the Era of Chaos, right? And then the Triforce wasn't really a thing when it comes to people knowing about it up until Ocarina of Time. The Minish Cap and Four Swords, you know, the Triforce wasn't really like, oh my goodness, the Triforce. It was, they were looking for the Light Force, and Zelda was kidnapped by Vati when it came back, when the Four Sword seal was broken. So when it comes to the Unified timeline, when it comes to Triforce Heroes, if it's going to focus on the Triforce, I don't think it's going to take place in the Unified timeline. Now, let's look at the timeline split, the three timelines, alright? Picture this. The Child timeline. When it comes to the Triforce stayed intact. Ganondorf didn't get it at the end of Ocarina of Time. He did end up getting it in Twilight Princess. Link had it in Twilight Princess, and Zelda had it in Twilight Princess. But at the end of Twilight Princess, Ganondorf dies, and his Triforce of power just like fades away. In Four Swords Adventures, it's still unaccounted for. So when it comes to the complete Triforce, we know that Link and most likely his successors and Zelda's successors have the Triforce of Wisdom and Courage, but the Triforce of Power in the Child timeline is still unaccounted for. So the complete Triforce is not there. We don't know where it is. So I'm pretty sure we're going to rule out the Child timeline. Now, when it comes to the Adult timeline, we all know how that song and dance goes. You know, Ganondorf comes back. The Triforce does get completed at the end of Wind Waker, but the Triforce along Hyrule gets fully obliterated and sunk by the last flood that the King of Hyrule, you know, brought about, wishing on the Triforce. So the Triforce is no longer a thing in the Adult timeline because, as we all know, by the time of Spirit Tracks, Link and Tetra find the new Hyrule, establish the new kingdom, but they don't have the Master Sword, they don't have the Triforce. I don't even think they might have protection from the gods, since since that new land has its own problems and its own spirits. When you have the Locomo, the spirits of good, the Demon King Malladus, it's a completely new place, and the Triforce is, you know, not accounted for. We know what the Triforce is, but it's not anywhere in New Hyrule. So when it comes to the Adult timeline, nah. Now when it comes to the Downfall timeline, all three pieces of the Triforce have been accounted for and remain accounted for. Yes, they've broken apart, they've gone to different places, but we know where all three pieces of the Triforce at all times when it comes to the Downfall timeline. Alright, you know, A Link to the Past, Ganon had it, took it back, and then Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, they really focus on the Triforce, and then we come to Link's Awakening, didn't really focus on the Triforce, and then A Link Between Worlds, we got more things about the Triforce. All three pieces were accounted for: Power, Wisdom, Courage. And then in Zelda 1, you had to go look for the Triforce of Wisdom, completed when Ganon had the Triforce of Power. And then Zelda 2, we have the Triforce of Courage finally introduced to complete the set. So when we're looking at the focus on the Triforce when it comes to Triforce Heroes, I think that Triforce Heroes is actually going to take place once again in the Downfall timeline. You know, they're just stacking games, stacking games, stacking games. So Triforce Heroes is probably going to take place in the Downfall timeline. Where in the Downfall timeline? I want to pinpoint it sometime after A Link Between Worlds, but before Zelda 1. Because in Zelda 1 and 2, we see the Hyrule, or whatever land, yes, Hyrule, goes into a huge state of disrepair. And if Triforce Heroes is gonna have Hyrule again, they didn't really like specify if it's gonna be Hyrule or not. They said, you know, Fashion Forward Town or Fashion Forward Kingdom, the King and Zelda and all this stuff. But I mean, if it has to focus with Link, the hero, Triforce, it's Hyrule. So Triforce, Hyrule has been very nice, very much intact around the saga that encompasses A Link to the Past all the way to A Link Between Worlds. Zelda 1 is when we start, well, before Zelda 1, we start seeing the land go into massive decline, and we see the repercussions of that in Zelda 1 and in Zelda 2. So with a land that, you know, is fashion forward, very nice, kept together, I feel that it might happen sometime after A Link Between Worlds, but long before Zelda 1. So that's what I have to say about Triforce Heroes and its timeline placement. What do you guys think? Where do you think the game is going to fall on the timeline? So if you have any questions, concerns, or if you know or you think you know where the game is going to fall, leave it in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, favorite, share, and most importantly, subscribe to HMK for more insightful Zelda videos like this. And until the next one, I've been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.